Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's market update. Now, I've almost been seeing kind of two markets existing right now, what I would term an active market and an inactive market. Now, what does that mean? Well, I've kind of made up this term, but what I'm seeing is actively out in the market, extremely low inventory, and paired with that, somewhat similarly low buyer demand. I still am seeing multiple offers and homes selling above list price, but that huge frenzy that we saw 6 months, a year ago, has certainly died down from the buyer activity side as well. That being said, I have never been busier with buyers and sellers reaching out to me who are not ready yet, who are just want to get started, just getting their feet wet. So what that tells me personally that I don't necessarily believe that the market has slowed down or is seeing a big shift. What it seems to be is that we've got somewhat of a similar market to what we've had for the last few years. This very low inventory, very high buyer demand, combined with a resurgence of seasonality. Whereas for a while we had this huge market activity, and paired with COVID, there really was no seasonality. The market was just busy. One season flowed to the next with no real delineation. So what it seems to me now, it seems to be that we had quite a bit of a slowdown this fall, and what seems to be continuing in through the holidays now that we've got Thanksgiving coming up next week. But I've got a lot of buyers and sellers who want to move, are actively pursuing it, but at the same time are kind of holding off on the sidelines until the holidays or the new year. So what does that tell me, and what does that mean for you as a buyer or seller? That tells me that if you are one of those people but you have not reached out to me yet, you certainly should. If your competition, number one, if your competition is getting the ball rolling early, you want to be as well. But on top of that, I see the potential for off-market deals to happen, especially with the sellers. If you're looking to sell your home and you're ready, but you want to wait till the spring because you don't want to get in the way of your holiday celebrations, and you've got a bunch of things to get ready, and you've heard that spring is the best time to sell, let's start having that conversation now. Let's get your home ready so that we can be ready for spring, because spring market starts earlier than most people think. But on top of that, there's no reason with all these buyers that I've had reaching out to me lately, starting their house search, there's no reason to not have your home as an exclusive listing. I have most of my sellers that I am meeting with right now that are looking to sell in the spring. I recommend doing an exclusive listing through the winter, maybe set an ambitious price, because there are a bunch of buyers out there with very few options to choose, and there is an opportunity to potentially capture that without racking up days on market and selling yourself short if you do think that spring is going to be a more opportune time. So come in with an exclusive. There are buyers out there. There is an opportunity to potentially reach them, and if there's nothing for them to choose from, you might be able to get an ambitious price that could outperform what you think this very active spring market is going to be. On top of that, interest rates. I'm not seeing any drastic changes with interest rates. Projections for 2025 are that the interest rates are going to get to the low sixes by the end of the year. Currently, they're in the high sixes, hovering just below 7. So while it will be nice to see that decrease in interest rates, to me, that doesn't, if I'm active out there buying, that's not enough of a reason to hold off on my home search. Yes, it might be advantageous to refinance, in about a year, but not a great enough difference to keep me from holding off searching for a home altogether, especially since as rates come down, you do expect the buyer activity to increase, the competition to increase, and likely an overall increase in home prices. So that being said, let's get into the stats for this week. This week we saw 4 homes come on the market. 3 of those homes were in town and 1 of those were in township. 2 of those were single family houses and 2 of those were condos or townhouses. Total inventory took another dip this past week. We are now down to 41 homes actively on the market. We're just not seeing many. Look, we had 4 homes come on the market this week, 5 last week, 3 the week before. Buyers are out there, and with not many homes coming on the market to meet this demand, we're going to see that active inventory trickle down. So once again, while it might be the holiday time and everybody wants to sit and relax and enjoy their holiday celebrations without the burden of a home sale getting in their way, there is extremely low inventory, so there are some advantages to getting ahead and getting your home on the market before the spring. Sold homes. We saw 7 homes sell this past week. That's way up from what we saw the past 2 weeks. 7 homes sold this last week. Average list price of these homes was $881,000. Average sale price of these homes was $915,000. So this past week we saw homes sell for an average of 3.1% above the list price. And those homes were on the market for 34 days. So that tells me, yes, I'm expecting to see that number above list price creeping up again. It seems like from the deals I'm doing and having insight into, that these bidding wars are ticking up. The number of offers are ticking up. So I don't think it's been a big shift in the market as much as the same market with some seasonality sprinkled in. Under contract, we saw 5 homes go under contract this past week. Average list price of those homes was $607,000, and the median days on market for those homes was 33 days. Like I said, the market activity, it seems to be ticking up. The days on market doesn't seem to be coming down all that much, but I think the biggest reason for that is simply that because we don't have many homes coming on the market, if we're going to see this many under contract and sold, it's only going to make sense that those are going to make up not only the houses freshly on the market, but the ones that have been sitting on the market for a little bit longer. So I expect to see the average days on market for under contract and sold homes ticking up and remaining a little bit higher, not because the homes are taking longer to sell, but because in order to sell that many homes, it's going to be a mix of the freshly listed homes and the homes that have been sitting around, what I refer to as the more stale inventory. So a lot of changes going on, lots of things to prep for that new year, lots of predictions coming out for 2025. So stay tuned. Thanks for checking in with me, and I'll catch you guys again next week.